Welcome to the Wayne Burton Music Hour. Sometimes I can develop quite the anticipatory anxiety before I play. It's like a rush that I have to keep a lid on. And I know my mind is inventing the challenges it faces. It's up to my mind to figure out the puzzle that I have set up for myself. Or the equation, if you want to call it that. All right. I'm trying a slightly different camera angle. I know. Wow. Change. I am capable of it. Weird. I figured I was going to do a piano live stream tonight, but I was feeling lazy. So I'm back here in the kitchen, which I'm happy to be. This is a place I'm happy to be, for sure. Someday I'll be out of the kitchen. But for now, I'm just going to play my songs and sort of, I think, do a version of processing my emotions somehow through the music. And I have no idea how it does it. It's a total mystery to me. It's a magical force. Music, I don't understand it. Yet it compels me to just keep playing no matter what. Excuse me. Hopefully my neighbors don't hate this. I have the windows closed, but maybe it really annoys them. They set up a tent in the backyard tonight. So I wonder if they're like, we're trying to sleep and this guy is playing his guitar. I invent all this stuff in my mind. And I don't know why, I just do. But I'm happy to be here with you. And thank you and welcome to the Wayne Burton Music Hour. Please subscribe. I'm almost at 400 subscribers and I just want to keep on going. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going to keep on going. I play all my own songs. I have an album coming out soon. I'm here in my kitchen. I have a day job. I have a very, I guess you could say, mundane life, if you wanted to look at it that way. So the music has become a way for me to sort of throw a fireworks show to myself after a day of possibly thinking very negative things. It's a wild ride to go on, and I think I'm happy to describe it because I'm happy to point out how ridiculous it is. And that anyone truthfully does have the power over their own mind. Sweet. Yeah, I guess if I have anxiety about thinking I don't know what I'm doing, but I know others don't know what they're doing, then I don't really have reason to judge myself and just let go of that thought completely. Because I think maybe everyone has a different level of it, you know? Everyone has a different wavelength. Some people operate at a high level of anxiety, but they do really high level stuff. Some people have a low level of anxiety and do high level stuff. And there's a whole spectrum in between. And I think my brain goes through all kinds of wormholes throughout the day. And I find myself back in the kitchen thinking, what song do I want to play? And maybe I'll just start making up a poem. I'm doing great. Thank you, Pollux. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I got a late start. I try to start at 6, but I'm lazy. or I'm purposefully just not doing anything. It's hard to decipher between the two, you know what I mean? And one of the wormholes that I go through during my day is I think about time and the passage of time and how imperceptible it is. Yet, the longer you live, the more insanely perceptible it is, you know? And I truly want to leave my best stuff behind. Legacy comes into question, I think, in everyone's mind. It's okay to wonder, is there only darkness? My guess is you won't feel it. So anyway, this song is called A Matter of Time. It's the little things you regret. Just remember, you're not done yet. You are the wind, I am the trees. Rock me gently in your ocean breeze. And it's only a matter of time before the end of the line. That sounds like a good plan to me. And it's only a matter of time. Oh, I don't know which way I'll go. I'll figure it out when I get there. You are the wind, I am the trees. Rock me gently in your ocean breeze. And it's only a matter of time for the end of the line. And it's only a matter of time. Here I go again. All my secrets laid bare. I said, oh, here I go again. All this running ain't fair, and I don't even care. I don't even care. It's the little things I will never say to you, but one thing I'll remember is I love you. You are the wind, and I am the trees. Rock me gently in your ocean breeze. And it's only a matter of time. Oh, it's only a matter of time. Do, 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 do. I am capable of ending songs. Wow. A lot of the times it's all completely freeform. Anyway, I hope you're having a good night out there. Thank you for tuning in to the Peter Wayne Burton. Thank you, Pollux. It's an honor and it's a blessing to be here with you this evening. I think I enjoy trying to find new ways of saying how much I am grateful for this technology, for you existing, for this guitar having a maker, these strings, this capo, everything around me came from somewhere, and I get to occupy this space at a given moment in time. And I get to say things over and over again, just like I get to play songs over and over again. And one of the things I say over and over again is I do this in anticipation of a proving ground, of proving my concept that once I am to a big stage and I have the budget, what I want to do with that budget. And that's to do a really cool live show that's different every night, but I have like nods and I do have things I repeat. You know, there's certain patterns I might have. I would say some shows I would request no recording whatsoever, not even video. But I also would love to have nights where video is entirely encouraged and never discouraged. So when I'm playing these songs, a lot of the times I'm imagining like people putting their phones in the air and sort of a, I guess you could say, cliche version of a rock concert, but I would just love to experience it for myself. I would love the audience to be a part of the resonating effect that music has had on me. And I would love to beam my human filter of music outwards. So when I'm not playing music, I feel like I'm still emitting it. That's my goal. And it's a lofty one. And it's one that may be unachievable. But it also may be one that I could come close to and still be satisfied with. So I'm going to aim at that. So I'm going to play a few more sitting down. Hey, look, I can spin around. How about them acrobatics, right? I can even go the other way. Have you ever seen anything so cool? No, you have not. Oh my goodness, he went 360. Okay, stop the presses. I mean, it's a little outdated. Stop the internet. Yeah, I agree. That's fine. I agree with the light completely. In fact, I like to pretend that the phone, we could stop using the phone entirely except as a flashlight, which is a absolutely absurd concept right now, I know. But I think that finding a balance is also important, and it feels like we are getting very imbalanced. But that is okay. We are beings that evolve glacially sometimes, and I know that's true of myself. I should practice with my eyes closed, you know what I mean? Because it makes it more instinctual that way. I would like to get to the level on guitar that I am on piano, but that is a strange parallel to make. But I practiced on piano with my eyes closed all the time, and it made a huge difference. I open them on occasion, it's like cheating. It's sort of like finger acrobatics. Or if I start to second guess myself, I usually screw up. And the mistakes are okay. I have to learn that. Yeah, that's true. You play with your soul that way. That's a good point. At least I try. And I try and I try and I try. And I never know what the answer is, but it's like it's like having one lock, but a million keys. And each performance is like a new key, but the same lock. It comes close. But I gotta open that next step, you know what I mean? I got 2 kids. I have no management, no record label. I have people that have helped me tremendously. Because the truth is, I have huge plans if I were ever to have the opportunity. And I could live out some of the years that I have left, making sense of the past that all of a sudden makes sense. You know, it's like your past suddenly, instead of being full of, I guess I could say, profound events that broke my brain a little bit, I can imagine this brain healing itself and finding new ways to help others heal their brains. And notice I'm not talking about perfection. And I'm not talking about making something disappear. I'm talking about atonement. It's a complicated word, as are most words, actually. But the idea that my past, I can think of it differently the more I do this. The more I do this very activity, without any distractions, without worry about time. I worry a little bit about sound level. Yo! Octa! I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in to the Peter Wayne Burton Music Hour. That's right. You're in for a wild ride this evening. I have a chair that I can turn 360 in, and that is mind-blowing to most everyone. I've never seen anyone turn in a circle before, I know. I'm doing very well, thank you. I was just talking about how I am very much like a lot of people out there. I have a brain that eats itself alive with worry, you know what I mean? But when I'm playing music, I feel something entirely different. It's not like the anxiety goes away or the worry goes away. I guess you could say the worry makes more sense the more I realize I just haven't become who I was born to be yet. At least not completely. I'm acutely aware that my situation might be a bit odd. I'm Gen X. Which is a weird thing to say, because what the hell does that mean? I guess that means that societal things affected us at different developmental times. And those times are what the newer people will never experience. So it can make you feel a bit like an alien within your own species. But then you realize it's just all a matter of perspective. Or at least I try to, and I do so. 92% of the time. I'm from the X-Men, exactly. I've often thought of, hello, Braden, Rivals Edits, hello, how are you tonight? Thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm just babbling about my mental difficulties. And I tend to ramble on and forget to play the music, but sometimes I can do both. I can ramble and play. Melodic freestyle, you could call it that if you wanted to. Where I just sing about what's in front of me, an iPad, and 3 people are watching me. I needed to feel like I sat in a different place. Oh, I'm doing a 1 capo night. I know, I'm so tame tonight. I don't want to be a 1-trick pony, you know what I mean? I want to be a 3-trick pony. 3 capos. But the single capo is just fine. Just like it's fun to have a trio. If I had a bassist and a drummer, do you understand what would happen? If the doorway, there was a drummer, and sitting on the counter was a bassist. And the songs were really meant to be super chill, sort of like, I want it. I don't like making comparisons, so I'll just say that I want it to be like this medium to low energy, chill beat, acoustic, with melodies and harmonies that can swell, and the songs can be fast or slow, they can be funky, they can be dark. Freda, hello, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're well this evening. Thank you guys for coming back. Doesn't it feel like deja vu within deja vu? I mean, it kind of hurts my head sometimes. Because when I play music and I'm sitting in the same spot, saying the same things, going through the same routine, I feel like, what is this? Is this an addiction that I can't break? Or I do this exact thing in my kitchen, let's say 4 times a week. I'm sorry you're struggling, but I welcome you this evening and I'm grateful to spend time with you. And hopefully this evening's theme is like absorption and emission. The human body absorbs energy and it emits energy. We know that. So I think of music as a healing energy, if only because it simply suspends the brain a little bit sometimes and takes the brain on a little bit of a journey. You're right. I do need to break the loop, and I'm working on it. And you could argue that I have broken the loop. Everything has a downside and a sacrifice to it. I have played almost 5 or 6 nights a week for, I think, 3 to 4 months now. And that is unusual for me. That is a little different. You're right. It is a way for me to express my feelings. And I can't figure out how it helps me, but I know it does. I think it gives me something to look forward to and there's something to remember. A 2-hour chunk of my day that I feel like I spent, because I think of music as kind of insane. You're right. Everything will find its way. I mean, I made it to this kitchen. Loops can be helpful. Routine can be helpful. Repetition can be helpful. I am not negating the benefits of routine and practice and patience and discipline, but also like forcing yourself to play even when you are feeling really not so great about what you're doing and where you're going and your debt and all the stress that builds up in your head. You know what I mean? So I also chat to give my fingers a rest. So I apologize. Sometimes I go on like 20-minute journeys. And I think that's when I was growing up in my teenage years, I found a band that I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm going to dance. I should probably dance now, huh? And when I say dance, I mean stand up. It doesn't have to be dancing, does it? See? You can, that's what I love about guitar. I think of guitar as a 6-string horizontal piano where my right hand is the hammer and obviously my left hand makes the notes. So I don't think I just think of it as a simplified piano where I get to manipulate the strings instead of like mechanisms within the piano. Look at that lamp. How's that for a... That's some high-tech lighting. If you walk 1,000,000 miles in another man's shoes, will you learn how? I don't care what the neighbors are gonna say. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. I can't believe getting to know myself. Can't you see how painful it is over half of my done? I can't believe it's already over. I was just getting to know myself. Oh, can't you see how painful it is being sober? Have a little fun, live your life before it's done. Whoa. Ooh. Yeah! Hello out there. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. I apologize if I miss the comments, but I tried to pay attention. Go, Peter, go! I'm working on it. The 92% member club. Yes, 92%. That's what we're shooting over again. Bullseye, over and over again. 92%. It's if you zoom in on the bullseye. Thank you so much, Freda. If you zoom in on the bullseye, if it was like an arrow that hit it, you would see the closer you got, the more off-center the arrow would likely be. So it's not exactly a bullseye. That's the 92%, that it's nothing's ever perfect, but just come really close. I don't even know what that means. But I think I have seen enough of the internet. I think I have lived long enough with seeing what is going on that I can now take the research I have done and put it in to trying to make this music career of mine go somewhere. I'm not good at social media. I'm not good. Put me on stage, I will play my heart out wherever it is. I'm such a cliche musician like that. But I've also convinced myself I'm not good at that stuff. And I've learned to try to undo that kind of thinking. So, what shall I play? What shall I play? What shall I do? You watching, I don't want to waste your time. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Those are my house shoes. I have to keep them nice and white and looking prim and proper. I don't take care of a whole lot of stuff. I think I'm trying to train myself to get better at looking forward to the stage instead of worrying about freezing up on stage. Because it is a tremendous amount of pressure to have the attention on you, but at the same time, the pressure is entirely manageable because I get to decide how I manage it. And the best way to manage it is to do it so much that you don't even realize you're doing it. But that requires kind of an obsession that can take over your head sometimes, and I'm absolutely admit that I have fallen victim to my own head. But I have a live stream that I'm going to do, I think on a Sunday. I'm dealing with a tremendous amount of guilt that I haven't gone home to New Hampshire in a few months to see my family. But I'm thinking of all this music as like I don't want to take a break from it. I can do it when I visit them in New Hampshire. It's just not the same. Regular guy issues, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna do a really high quality stream from a studio. And I'm using the tip money to pay for it. I'm gonna pay them in ones and crumpled fives. I'm just kidding. But gotta put the cape on. Here's one I've been playing recently. Maybe too much. Oh man. I didn't even know if it came out at all. Usurper, you got it. I said, hey, what's your name? What's your game? Never mind, don't care. Hey, what's your deal? How do you feel? Never mind, don't care. All I am is caught in the middle. All I see is snow coming down, way down south. I'm not the one who became the usurper. Lay your body down. Lay your body down. I'm not the one who became the usurper. I said, hey, what's your deal? How do you feel? Never mind, don't care. Hey, what's your name? What is your game? Never mind, I don't care. All I am is caught in the middle. All I see is snow coming down, way down south. Lay your body down. I'm not the one who became the usurper. Lay your body one who became a usurper. I'm fading out. I'm fading out. There was never any doubt. 'Cause I'm fading out. It could have been you. It could have been me. Or anyone in between. Never mind, I don't care. I said, hey, what's your name? What's your game? Never mind, don't care. All I am is caught in the middle. All I see is snow coming down, way down south. Lay your body down. I'm not gonna king of usurper. Lay your body down. I'm not the one who became a usurper. Thank you so much. Yes, I tend to add a lot of stuff to the songs. And you can pretty much guarantee that there is a purpose for that. And I think the purpose for that is to make each performance different. Make each performance sort of like another bullet point on my resume, and the song structure and the songs that I play and the jams that I do and the words that I choose are all different every single time. And I think that's part of where like my insanity comes from a little bit, is that it's not hard to just change things up every night and do something a little bit different. PW singing songs by Peter. Yeah. I had the thought the other night of, and I know people have done this already, but I'm just technologically way behind. I know how to home record, but I'm scared of it because I fall down a rabbit hole, an abyss. I fall into an abyss if I start recording at home. And I'm very scared of that, so I don't do that. So I thought of the idea of like if I took the album and asked AI to enhance it. Oh, I have heard AI renderings of songs, and you have to admit there's an insane thing happening at the moment. That's all I can say to myself. I heard these songs, and I really liked them. No, I knew they were fake. I knew it. That is the huge battle right here between AI music, the listener, and the artist, is that if you are listening to music and you know it's a band, it's a different experience. Or you know it's a performer, there was no AI involved, you know it's different. Lesbian Seagull. So, I think live performance is the closest antidote I can think of to AI creating a fictional version of perfection that no musician could live up to. So the idea, if the listener falls in love with AI created music and doesn't actually support artists or go see artists play, then you run the risk over decades. I'm talking a slow progression here. Right. There is a potential, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, because I am absolutely positive that people still love live music, possibly more than they ever have. I just want to make sure I put it on the record that as a warning to keep it in mind. Because I want to believe that if I heard an AI version of a friend's song that he showed me the other night, and I listened to it, and the voice was a human sounding voice, but right on pitch and perfect throughout the entire thing. And if you listen to a human voice at perfection for 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, the real thing is much different than a perfected recorded voice. The real thing is supposed to wobble a little bit. The real thing is supposed to have breaths and sort of gasps and words that are tripped over. That's in the flesh, live, before AI could ever predict what I'm going to do. I can think ahead of it because I am within my own bubble. I am air gapped in a way. You could argue that I'm not air gapped and that I am controlled by the internet and my phone, and I would not have a good argument against that fact. But I just think of playing in real life for me feels like a calling, a mission for me now. It scared me a lot of my life, yet I was craving the spotlight. But the spotlight was absolutely terrifying. So I think I found ways to sabotage myself. Long droughts of not doing any music. Long periods of being like, well, you have to switch your brain into a new direction, Peter, or if you're going to be constantly thinking about music, you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah, and I just think we have created something truly mind-shattering. And the only way that I know how to deal with it is just to simplify, simplify, simplify. I'm just a man in this kitchen with a guitar. It's not even plugged in. I don't have a microphone. I don't have any fancy recording devices here. I don't have any marketing campaign. I don't have a record company. I'm nowhere, essentially. I'm in square one of my career. So being aware of that fact makes me think, well, if I were to go to medical school or to business school or some master's program, it would consume my life for weeks and months at a time because it's absorbing so much information. And it takes practice and repetition and practice and repetition. And it can be exhausting, but it can also be an amazing way to invest in yourself for your future. But every time I think about going back to school or doing more training or something like that, I just think, well, it would mean that I couldn't play music as much. How dare you? Yes, better light. Also because I feel like maybe it doesn't bother my neighbors as much. But right now, I've invented the idea that they hate me and at some point they're going to walk upstairs or text me. It's like bracing for impact. But at the same time, I just keep playing. I've had multiple times where people told me to quiet down. I am a rebel, in a way. Maybe not. In many ways, I'm a slave, for sure. And by slave, I mean I am kind of owned by, companies that have sold me stuff for years. And, I'm a part of a system. But in other ways, I want to think entirely inside my own box, which is sort of a reversal of thinking outside the box, because maybe everyone's already outside and you just have to get back to inventing the box again while they're all like searching for like wild, crazy stuff. This is my own version of that. So I don't have no idea if it's going to work. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep doing it. That's my phrase. That's what I keep repeating. And I like sitting down a bit. I also like standing up a bit. So these things are pristine. They're pristine. Yes. I'm the man in the kitchen. I'm I'm not trying to make fun of that song because I don't want to butcher it. But I love Alice in Chains from the 90s, man. Hey, shove my nose in cake, shove my nose in cake. Let's stay together until we die, and maybe we will have a happy life. Or maybe we will find out we hate each other 6 months into what was supposed to be perfection. How long do you stay together when you realize you are unhappy because they are unhappy? And then you spend time trying to figure out what the problems are. Or you enjoy each other's company, and you enjoy making the other person laugh as often as possible. Let's just admit it that laughter is the key to life. Laughter is the key to life. I'm so glad to be here with you in my kitchen. I play songs I think of from time to time, and sometimes I just make them up as I go. Scream out loud that you've never been so alone. It's been a long time, but it feels like a second ago. Does it disappear or fade away over time? I know your day will come further down the line, further down the line, further down the line, further down the line. I'm not ready to make my amends. If only you could understand, there is no difference between black and white. All we're told is who and when to fight. All we're told is who and when to fight. Thank you so much. Sometimes songs come out of nowhere, and sometimes I make songs sound completely different. But sometimes I like to do them the same. Sometimes I like to do them faster. Sometimes they're pretty lame. I like to think of poems right here on the spot. It might be repetitive, but Lord, I am not. I could think of myself as a real-life Dr. Seuss if I could only stop all this self-abuse. I sit here in my kitchen and I wait for the evening. And I can't think of anything that rhymes with evening. Bad poetry. I like it. It's fun. It's like slow. I mean, I watch people freestyle stuff and it blows my mind that they can freestyle. Just like sentence after sentence of rhythm, on rhythm, ideas. It's amazing. So I want to sort of attempt to do my own version of that. Attempt, mind you. I know. The attempt can sometimes be a little silly. But whatever. What was I going to do? I always like doing this one. Maybe I do this one too often. I have no idea. But this is the one, A1. I would love to have a trio to start things off. You know what I mean? Bass and drums. Songs that are just pretty easy to learn. I think I have a social anxiety when it comes to musicians because I invent that they hate the song, they think it's stupid, and they're doing it just because this, like, poor sap of a human being wants me to do it. I invent it. I invent their reaction and what they're thinking, and it is so irrationally stupid. But yeah, I wanted to do this a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. This is a bass that I mess around with on sometimes. Oops. Oh yeah, I was gonna try that song like a. I used to waste my time hanging from your windowsill, trying to escape my mind and that urge to kill. Those demons that speak your name every night. I beat them back sometimes, but don't always win the fight. You see what I mean? You used to be a friend to me. Talking at length about the crimes of the century. Well, I think this ranks high up on that list. I think I need a psychiatrist. Boom. Yes, that was a good point. Dun, 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 dun. He still wonders when it goes wacky, but has fun and thinks deeply into that. It keeps disappearing on me. Fog. Yes, I do. I do keep going into my songs. And I was just going to mess with the. Yes! It's fun to mess around with the bass. Dum bum ba dum 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 dum. Da 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 da. Oh man, that sounds terrible. All right, I got my capo back. Them capos. I only am using one tonight. I'm changing it up. See, I'm unpredictable. I'm wild. I'm wacky. I'm zany like that. I can go in a circle and I can stick the landing. Now, I should probably invent some other theatrics because that's not all that, it's not that all remarkable. I know, okay? I know it's not all that remarkable. Somewhat mildly entertaining to me because it makes me dizzy for a second. I could close my eyes, I suppose. But what song was I going to play? I think getting dizzy is a reminder of how much I enjoy being as still as possible. This one is called Judge and Jury. I've seen the future, and we're doing just fine. I know the truth hurts when your choices feel divine. You don't need their mercy, all you need is time. You will be the judge and jury, they're the voices in your mind. I know I'll see you soon. I'm in a hurry. You will be the judge and jury. I know what love is, 'cause you gave it to me. I know what love is, 'cause it set me free. You don't need their mercy, all you need is time. You will be the judge and jury, there's the voices in your mind. Do I know I am falling down, but I'm already here underground. Won't you lay your body down? You are not the only one to feel a certain way. You are not the only one who can live for another day. You don't need their mercy, all you need is time. You will be the judge and jury, they're the voices in your mind. I will find you and bring you home. The fire inside you is made from my own. Hello out there, thank you for joining me. This is the middle of the song. I shall continue now. You don't need the mercy, all you need is time. You'll be the judge and jury, they're the voices in your mind. I will find you, bring you home. Fire inside you is made from my own. I think I want my words to be messages, and maybe that's the most obvious thing to state. But I figured, might as well put it on the record at least. I want my messages to hopefully get people to think in different and interesting ways, at least for a few seconds or minutes or hours at a time. Because I know that maybe nobody will ever hear them. Just kidding, I know some people will hear them. But it's very dark. And I have to give my hand a rest sometimes. So I just end songs abruptly like that. And I wonder if people are like, oh, won't you give me a quiet ending? And I say, sorry, no can do. But that one, Judge and Jury, I wrote in a basement. And the Judge and Jury, I think it relates to me reminding myself that I am the one that makes up my mind. The judgment of myself is my own. And now that I've had kids, there's more on the line. So it makes sense that I would be driving myself crazy with sort of the pressure of wanting to be a good dad. And feeling like I fall short in certain areas. But objectively, I'm very happy with myself as a father. Because my kids are amazing. That's right. So I have to save myself in order to save my kids. And I'm trying to do both at the same time. And I think I can continue to do both at the same time. I want them to see me do what I love, do what I'm good at, do what inspires me. And I really don't want them to have any shadow of mine to live in at all. I want them, and it seems like they're already on their way, to be like forging their own. Like if I have a tree that's branching out, their tree branches out. And height doesn't matter. It just matters like how strong the tree is and how many leaves you produce. I don't know. The metaphor can be tortured. And I tend to do that quite frequently. I enjoy using metaphors to describe personal change and philosophy. So yes, tonight's theme probably is pressure. Pressure I put on myself, pressure I perceive. Probably internal pressure, external pressure, all kinds of pressure, and how a mind deals with it. And I don't know if I deal with it very well. But I know that I have certain methodologies that seem to be proving somewhat successful thus far. Sometimes I like to sing a song I've never sang before. That's a lie. Maybe I have it all mapped out. Yes, I think I am much happier as a result of playing music as often as I can, even though sometimes I don't feel like playing. And I guess that's where the emotional and psychological component, they collide. Because how am I supposed to feel when I'm supposed to feel it? When I wrote a song, I'm supposed to be happy when I play it. Can I be sad and play my happy songs? Can I be happy and play my sad songs? A better question would be if I could play my funkier songs when I am feeling sad. It's a good idea. Dance with my kids on resting nights. It's a very good idea. I really appreciate that. And that's the other thing. I think I have anxiety about my children not liking my music. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I was married, there was a difficult time because I was playing a lot of music, but I never sensed that it was very good because I wasn't judging it. I hadn't written better stuff yet. And I think I was very hard on myself. And I went out and played on the street for money on Church Street, which is a walkway here in Burlington. Like an open air, like 3-block thing. And I got addicted to playing this guitar out there on the street because I looked forward to doing it every night, just like I look forward to doing it now, except I have done it. I'm doing it from my kitchen, so it doesn't require getting in my car, finding parking, dealing with the public. And I love the public, but not when the public is walking by me. I don't think I like it that so much. But obviously, that's just the nature of the beast, and if I hated it, I wouldn't do it. So, I also think that I've watched so many artists just say that they just never stopped playing, and that's what really helped, is that they really were trying to convince themselves to stop at certain times. And I'm not saying this is all artists. Yes, you're right. You're right. Running around outside is an excellent idea. And I do that. I play soccer with my son. We throw the frisbee, football, kick the soccer ball. I love that. It's a good time for me to reset my brain a little bit. Hey, Arkansas. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well. I'm in my kitchen trying to figure out, I think I need to be a lot more eccentric. I think that's what is happening in my brain. And I'm not doing it. But a breaded fight is whacking fight. That's true. That's true. Just getting crazy. I think we go down to the beach tomorrow night. I live within a 10-minute bike ride of a beach here on the lake. And it's great. You can watch the sun go down. You can build sandcastles. You can build structures in the water. That's what I do with Miles sometimes. I never feel like I do it enough. I never feel like I am truly appreciating what I have enough. That's my brain. And I'm working on that, I'm sort of talking my way through it. I have this hair, and I know this hair could use a lot of improvement. I apologize. I should just keep rocking out. I think I'm going to play probably for an hour and a half tonight, which is usually my regular thing. I should probably stand up, stretch my legs a little bit. Look at me and my guitar. If I drop this guitar and it smashes, I will delete the video. I would be so heartbroken. Or I would ponder what would happen if my guitar smashed and if I recorded my reaction afterwards. That's a pretty dark thought. But people do that stuff. The internet is so weird. It's one thing to fall over and make a fool out of yourself. It's another thing for it to be on video for everybody to see. You know what I mean? That's why the internet is so crazy. Some of the people's worst moments of their lives are seen by 10 million people. That's crazy. And here I am trying to have the best moment of my life, and I absolutely love it, so I can't blame anybody for wanting that kind of thing. Thank you for tuning in. What should I play? This one is called I Want to Give You the World. Oh, the sun will shine on the last of your mornings. Oh, the sun will rise long after you're gone. You hear, you breathe, yeah, but I know it's not fair. I want to live forever, and I want to leave the world, and I want to set you free. Oh, the soul is a temple. This body's a rental. Time is running out, so try to be gentle on yourself. You're not a fragile flower. You may think you've lost it, but you still have power. I want to give you the world, and I want to set you free. Soul is a temple, this body's a rental. Time is running out, so try to be gentle on yourself. You're not a fragile flower. You may think you've lost it, but you still have the power. Oh, the sun will rise on the last of your mornings. Oh, the sun will shine long after you're gone. You were here, you breathe the air, but I know it's not fair. I want to live forever, and I want to do the world. Yes, I do, and I want to set you free. And I want to give you the world. Oh, and I want to set you free. When you run away, go anywhere, come home to me. When you run away, go anywhere, come home to me. Pow! I guess that's for the camera. Thank you. I'm moving around more tonight. I figure it's good to move around. When somebody speeds it up one day, it won't be just me like sitting in a chair. Nothing wrong with sitting in a chair, but you just want to make sure that you're somewhat interesting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what I'm going to do now? Something I probably shouldn't. Something that might be truly, truly offensive to some, or impressive to others, or just mind-blowingly amazing. I'm going to have a ginger ale. It's pretty remarkable, right? Is it smart to drink carbonated beverages while you are singing? Probably not. I'll probably end up burping in the middle of songs. I feel like I gotta tame this mop. Otherwise, the hair gets in my mouth and it's annoying. Maybe that's not a good thing to do. I don't know. I have to give my fingers a rest. So anyway, happy Monday night. Happy existence. Happy being alive for the time that you have here with me. And I hope you're doing well. And that your brain isn't turning itself inside out. Yup. Ginger ale. When I go to bars or play at restaurants, I get ginger ales. That's right. I don't drink alcohol. I just don't even think about it. I don't like it. I think I never had like an addiction issue with it. It was more like it actually made me sick and I just didn't like it. And a lot of the times when I was getting drunk, it was because everyone else was, and I hated being the sober one around all the drunk people. Which is a terrible thing to do, by the way. I'm not condoning such behavior. Such decision making is questionable. But if each day has a theme, and today's theme is pressure, this week's theme is self-forgiveness. Am I actually doing it while I am talking about it? I don't know. I find it quite odd that I'm sitting here talking because I enjoy it so much. Oh, I love like homemade ginger beer, that has like that burn of ginger. I love that stuff. I drink the soda ginger ale. I don't know why. I guess it's a cheaper option. I'm on a budget, At some point I'll live a little, I think, more wildly. But right now I'm pretty much set in my particular budget. I would like that to change, of course. I would like to ask and request of the universe something that would represent, hey, do music and make that your profession. And I'm here for that to happen, if possible. I'm going to play, I think, at an anxiety treatment center in New Hampshire in about a month or 3 weeks. No, 6 weeks. I mentioned it last night, and I'm looking forward to it. I would do it for free, but I would probably request money. I have a very hard time with money and what I do. I don't know why. It's because I feel, anyway, it's complicated. But the idea of using music to connect with people that might be struggling with something for the specific purpose of anxiety would be interesting. Yes. I think what you're talking about like a ginger ale thing sent to my house or something. I don't know why I treat ginger ale like it's not soda, but it's not water. Definitely cheaper, yeah. Pro box to send a different ginger beers or ales, and you can live it up. Yes. I would line up the different ginger ales and I would taste them throughout the performance. Po box or PO box. No, hand deliver it to my door. Just kidding. I like that idea. PO box, I got you. That sounds complicated. I have to like leave my house and go to a spot, see if anything's there. No, I got you. I'm just lazy, you know. Like, and there's a chance that it wouldn't be. I guess they notify you if it is there, so that's probably. I just haven't had a PO box in a long time. That's complicated. My goal would be to just be traveling so much that I try different ginger ales all over the country and the world. But nobody can send it to your house. Open it. You're right. They could send me, and they could have a camera capture the moment the box explodes with stinky fart dust. And it has a secondary explosion of like gooey slime. Or slime first, then the fart dust that it clings to me. And then they get the footage, and then they release it online. I'd have to embrace it, I suppose. I'd have to make a video out of it myself and like recreate it in a rock video. I think if that actually happened to me, if I did, somebody did send me something like that, I would be just like so remarkably fascinated that they went out of their way. And they could probably say, it was easy. We built it in our garage. We sent it to a bunch of people. Or we built it just for you. We'll never build another one again. I'd be curious if it was something they do quite a bit. But even with the P.O. box, if I go to open, if there's a package there, I can open it there and it explode. I mean, well, fascinated that somebody would go out of their way to be like, I hate that guy. Or wouldn't it be funny if we pranked Peter? I mean, somebody out there, like, people are just fascinating. That's the word I have for them. I don't understand them. They make no sense to me. But I love them. And I'm curious, you know, about their lives. Well, I guess, yeah. No. Important to whom? Maybe I'm not important to them. I would also be curious if they had any regrets about sending it after they sent it off. I'd be curious if they like open their eyes at night and be like, oh, I should not have sent that. Or they open their eyes and they're like, oh, it's going to get him so good when he opens it. I'd be curious to know, yeah, if they have any remorse, if they would do anything over again, or if they were just 100% committed, like, I can't wait till he gets it. I want to ruin this guy. Or just a funny prank, and it's a one of one. They never do it again. It wasn't ill-intentioned. But the problem is, from my perspective, I can never open a package again. And that is probably not the worst thing in the world, because maybe it's better if I just buy things that I can see and taste and touch and smell. I mean, if money was no object, would I be trying to amass a collection of things, of like pianos or guitars? I honestly don't know. I'm not a collector. I've never really been a collector. But then again, I know people change throughout their life. And it also is like a certain level, guitars can be an investment that appreciate as part of like your liquid value assets. Like money manager might say or something. I have no idea about these things. I'm just saying that that's why people buy houses, lots of guitars, lots of cars. It's part of like a diversification of their wealth. I think for me, I would just get really high quality pieces in each instrument category and be very happy. I mean, I would really like to travel the world and play in different studios and record stuff all over the place. I would love to live stream from all over the world. I would love to live stream from every piano that I possibly could. My mission is multi-pronged. It has multiple things at once. Lots of DeLoreans. Yes, there you go. I'm gonna have like a DeLorean collection. I don't think I would. I do think that I would have just like my main house would be just well designed, well engineered, have plenty of space for family and friends to visit. But the garage would be a 4-car garage with like black cars going from large to small in each bay. And that's the only thing in the garage that's completely minimal. Why do I see it like that? I don't know. Is it excessive? Yes. All I need is one car that runs great, right? But that's just like part of my aesthetic that I haven't really messed with recently, for years actually, which isn't recently, is the visual aesthetic. And there was a time where my friends and I rented like a 4-bedroom apartment. And in my bedroom was off the kitchen in the back. It was like a long line. Dun, 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 dun. You're right, because DeLoreans are cool. I think it reminds them of their youth in a really cool movie. So in this bedroom, I took red yarn, attached it to the light on the ceiling, and then ran it to the corner and then down to the floor at an angle and snipped it off and tacked it into place. And I did that with multiple pieces of yarn going from the center out and then down, center out and then down. And then I put pictures in frames at an angle going down into the floor. Large, medium, small. Large, medium, small. So it gave the room, when you sat in my bed and looked at the farthest wall, this weird sort of forced perspective. And I enjoyed the idea that anybody looked into my room, they would like do a double take, be like, what? The bed would always be made. There would never be any mess. It would always be the same, untouched, completely made every day before I leave and I come home. It was because it felt like an art installation. So when I was in bed, I didn't mess up the sheets very much, and I had a keyboard that I would put back in the closet when I was done with it, and that was it. I didn't even have a side table. I don't think. Pre-cell phones, which is wild to imagine. So the visual aesthetic is something that I love, and I just haven't really messed with much. And I think the death of Oliver Tree sort of sparked something within me. And I think within a lot of people, probably, to various degrees of, I guess, like how much it affects people. Like he seemed to leave so much behind. He seemed to have a really passionate belief in art and creation and pushing yourself. He seemed to love performing. Someone with that kind of energy doesn't feel like a human being. They feel like a superhero, you know? Well, pre-cell phones, sometimes I try to imagine it, and I have a very difficult time doing so. Like when I was just thinking about that apartment with my friends, and that was the apartment that I got my first cell phone in. But prior to that, gosh, it feels like a completely different world. Yeah, he was known. Yeah, no, Oliver Tree. I think he was big. He was big, and I think for the right reasons. I think I loved his honesty. I loved his charisma, his enthusiasm. I think I loved that he was self-deprecating, extremely funny, weird, but like hilariously so. Here, like there was a or an outfit that he had where he's on stilts and the legs are like almost like 2 stories tall, and it looked amazing. And I truly appreciated the amount of work that would go into that. He'd have to practice the stilts. He'd have to get the clothing made. It would take months to put all this together, to know where it was, to practice the stilts, and he might fall. So I appreciated the amount of work that he put into it. And some of the shows that I saw that he did recently before he passed, he was just jumping up and down and getting the crowd super into it, and it was just so mystifyingly energetic. Core strength, that's true. I can only imagine. Core strength is so important, isn't it? I think in the 80s, I remember there was a belt you could put around your waist, and they probably still have them now. But it had these electrical, low wattage electrical pulses that would constrict your abdomen muscles. And then you would feel like you're going to have abs without having to put any work in. And I don't know I don't think they work. I wouldn't know. I never tried it. I probably did. I don't remember if I tried it actually. But you gotta try a lot of things once, right? Not everything, try once. But a lot of things. I'm trying to think. Should I play more? It's 8 o'clock. I do have to make sure that I get my beauty sleep. You know what I mean? Scam? It was a scam. Mm-hmm. As in his passing? Sorry, my brain can ping pong all over the place sometimes. Mm-hmm. It just stinks that I'm just now seeing all these interviews with him. My kids are down the street with their mom. I have big categories that take up space in this head. Money, my kids and money. I live down the street from their mom. My music career, and my family in New Hampshire, and my friends here and beyond. 6 things take up space in this brain. So it's good if I'm playing music every day, it's good to make it quality instead of quantity, right? What do I know? I know nothing. All I know is that I'm almost to 400 subscribers, and I'm super excited about that. I want to get to 500 subscribers. And then I will want to get to 600. And then once I reach 10,000 or 100,000 or 10 million or 100 million, it'll never be enough, will it? I'm just kidding. I'm not actually thinking that way. I'm not actually that worried about it. I just know I'll know what I'll need to do when I need to do it. Then you'll get more trolls, and you made it. Yeah, trolls. I probably wouldn't use that word anymore. I probably would just make up my own word for them, or at least describe them in a way that feels more I don't know, accurate to me. I don't know exactly what that means. But if somebody hates what I do and hates me, yeah. If somebody can't stand me and they're watching me on a stream, then they're just proving something really funny, so they just won't stay, you know. But if you have enough viewers, they can hide themselves in your viewership, maybe, and they can hate watch you, and they can make fun of you and say this guy sucks or he's ripping this person off. Usurper. I'm not the one who became a usurper. I guess that song is about someone else, huh? You became the usurper. I don't even know if usurper is a word. Is it? I know usurp is a word. I don't think it's come up on my phone's autocorrect. Dun 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 dun. What was I gonna do? Oh yes, I was gonna light a candle. It's good to light candles, you know. Sweet. Maybe I'll play just a little more. It's been really fun to play for you this evening. I am blessed to have such a wonderful life and people that I have met and people that I am meeting and people I have yet to meet. I am truly grateful for it. I love it. I love this kitchen. I love this apartment. I love my kids. I love my family and my friends. Boom! It's on the record. How about that? I try to do some plucking every night. Some fucking plucking. What's wrong with being juvenile? This one is called Voodoo Rodeo. On a dark and rainy night, on the outside of town, under a flickering street light, the deal was going down. A handshake or a bullet, both had triggers, only one would pull it. Looking for an answer without a question, left him open to my suggestion. This was way beyond coincidence. The writing was on the wall. His path would put him on a collision course with all he ever feared as the end was near. Decisions had to be made. In the ground, in the ground, in ground he lay. He drove away wondering, how far can I go? On that dark and rainy night his mind would race, but his wheels rode slow. He made it to Alaska, blew a tire in Ohio, lost his wallet in Nebraska, found his soul in a voodoo rodeo. This was way beyond coincidence. The writing was on the wall. His path would put him on a collision course with all he ever feared. As the end was near, decisions had to be made. In the ground, in the ground, in the ground he lay. He started a new life, got a job at a hardware store, had some kids and found a wife. He could not ask for more. He found himself forgiving the man he used to be, but he knew he was sitting on a stone of sin and greed. Someone saw his picture, the cops were on their way. He kissed the ones he'd missed the most on the run. They're better off this way. Better off this way. This was way, way beyond coincidence. Way beyond coincidence. The writing was on the wall. His path would put him on a collision course with all he ever feared. As the end was near, decisions had to be made. Or in the ground, in the ground, in the ground he'll lay. This was way beyond coincidence. Way beyond coincidence. Way beyond coincidence. Way beyond coincidence. This was way beyond coincidence. Way beyond coincidence. Voodoo rodeo. 'Cause I said so. How will I know which way to go? Now they just sat for me. Every time I wander away, I find my way back home, but it's always too late. I never know myself to be a good witness, especially when I'm the murderer. I know I can't wait to see you. I will wait here all night for you, all night for you. All right, all right. Thank you so much. I wreck my fingers every time that I play. All these fingers are all very calloused and they still hurt. That is not good technique for the guitar people. That is not good technique. But that's okay. So, I'm going to make a pizza now. I know. The mundane trivialities of life are probably incredibly uninteresting. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. You know what I mean? Pizza, pizza, pizza. They say the dog is man's best friend. I say it's the oven. I know, that's a stupid thing to say. The oven doesn't give me affection or bark when an intruder is around. But it does heat up food. And you can have both, and a lot of people do, but I do not, and I'm fine. In fact, wherever I go, there must be an oven so I can stick something in it and heat it up and then eat it. Like if I were ever to rent a really cool place, like a studio in the middle of like rural Vermont, that had living quarters and a really cool like landscape all around it, I would want to not have to worry about food every day. And so I would want there to be a refrigerator with some frozen dinners in it. And the dinners are like really solidly nutritional dinners. I know that sounds, whoa, oh my gosh. But let's say they're frozen good dinners, not like a ton of salt or bad for you or whatever. Then I wouldn't have to worry about what I'm going to eat because I would just stick this, pan of food into the oven, this magic oven, and out would come hot, delicious food. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to foresee the future. I'm trying to predict the future. And if tonight's themes were pressure, forgiving yourself, and looking forward to the future with no restrictions at all, then that's a win, right, for the brain? And I think it's fairly obvious, like this anxiety treatment center that I'm going to play at in New Hampshire, I will probably do something similar to this on a live stream, but just in person for them, if that makes any sense. It's almost like if I think of talking to myself on an iPad and broadcasting it as rehearsal for if I ever have a group of students or people or whatever word you want to use to describe them, patients, individuals, I would want to inadvertently trick them into forgetting about their anxiety for a little bit and then reminding them at the end of the performance that it is possible to control your thoughts and your brain and your mind and learn ways to deal with the craziness. And everybody's different. I'm different than people, and people are different than me, and that's I think there's some common things that humans respond to, and I want to try to pluck those spiritual strings in people. Common things that bond, like if you have a bunch of people sitting in a room, there are strings that attach to all those people spiritually in some capacity or another. I think there's something magical to humanity, I do. But I also think that there are probably things that I'm not incapable of conceiving that are affecting me right now, and I just want to tell the things I'm incapable of conceiving that thank you for being a part of this. Whatever you are that I don't understand, that is invisible and I'm not even sure it exists, I'm going to be grateful for it anyway. Because if I live as though this great spider web of spiritual connection exists, then I will imagine my thoughts and decisions and artistic output might have more of an impact. So the better I state my mission, the better I make my art, the more chance someone might want to share it or view it again, or clip it or send it to somebody. And just that level of possibility for me, I think, gets me excited and gives me an adrenaline rush. But I have this wave of rush that I'm excited about it, and then I finish playing, and then I realize that it's back to the grind, and that, I can barely pay the rent, and, woe is me kind of stuff. Oh, poor Peter. But I am treating the music as a part-time job because it does bring in a bit of cash each month. And it should be so much more. I should be so much better at what I'm doing, but I feel like repetition is my mission. Repetition is the mission, and it's no superstition that sometimes you have to end the transmission. So I'm going to end it on that note. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being awesome. Spread the word if people might be interested in what I do. But I'm just happy to have spent time with you, and I hope you're doing okay. And I am doing my best. You keep doing your best. Let's keep... Oh, one of my kids is here.
I'm sorry for just coming down.
Well, I turned my phone off, so... Say hi.
Hi. Are you live streaming?
Yeah. I'm almost done, though. Okay. What are you coming to get?
I'll just wait until you're done.
All right. I'm going to go.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Fred, have an awesome night. I will see you tomorrow, okay? All right. Yup. You got it. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. You rock. Mwah.